עוד יותר, יוצרי התוכן של ישראל.
Welcome back. Hey,
Yes.
Matan.
Hey.
Guys, we have a very special guest, but I'm going to let Matan introduce because I already feel a little left out. And
Why? Why you feel left out?
I just feel left out.
You feel left out?
You guys already have these inside jokes. You guys are laughing about stuff that I don't
Because
really
you're
understand.
pretending that you're American and
Here we
Boker
go.
Joe.
Here we
Boker
go.
Joe. But tell
Here
them
we
that you're
go.
from Rosh Hashanah. Tell them
I'm
you
actually from Ra'anana.
have Ra'anana. It's Ra'anana.
Ra'anana.
see?
Ra'anana.
So you
Okay.
are.
Wait, before we get into
Guys,
introduce.
Hi. Welcome back to
Welcome
Olim
back.
TLV podcast, our second season,
Woo!
which is better than the first season, says I. Now I'm very happy
Says I.
to introduce our special guest for today.
Drum
Guys,
roll, please.
Give it up for Yohay Sponder! Thank you. Yohay, if you don't know Yohay, you're living under a rock, but if you do, and you're still listening to this podcast, let me say a few words about Yohay, which we became very good friends because of me. Yohay didn't really want to, but
Yeah,
it
but
was a
I had
one-sided friendship.
I had to. One side, very good friendship.
Very good friendship. We're very good friends on my side. So Yohay is an Israeli stand-up comedian for the past few, 100 years, I think. Not 100.
20
years.
20.
years.
He was my inspiration to start doing stand-up in English.
That's
here in
really
Israel.
sweet. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
We met
yes.
in the first time we met in a television show.
Yes.
That
Hot Bidur,
Hot Bidur, sorry. That's the first time we actually met.
That's
That's,
the
that's
fir-
fancy.
They
It's
asked me-
Matan's show, not
Yes.
mine.
They asked
Oh,
me.
the show they used to do.
Yeah, they asked me who is my inspiration and who I think will agree to come to the show. And I said, Yohay Sponder, check the two boxes.
And from my side was like I needed to be the guide or the
the
mentor.
The mentor.
The mentor. It was funny because I needed to pretend that I'm a mentor.
Yes.
I've never been a mentor before.
Yeah.
So it was,
And you were a mentor to Matan.
Yeah, it was like
nice.
I tried a mentor and like you need.
Yeah. And then I went to perform in English and I crashed and burned. So that was awesome. And
Crashed and
mental-wise,
burned in a
in TV, yeah.
okay,
on TV,
in
on
a
TV.
bad way.
Yeah, in a good way.
I don't know.
No,
sometimes-
it's in a good way because television wants the rating and
No, the rating was
Fair.
up. I was
Yeah.
down.
Okay,
That was
okay.
yeah.
I see.
for them it's good. It's like people having a fight in the reality show. It's good for the selling
Yes.
shampoo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not good for the people.
That's true. So Yohay Sponder has been doing stand-up in English for
20 years?
For 20 years,
Yeah.
ever since you started. You've been to the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
You've been all over United States. All over the United States. You're
Comedy
doing
Cellar, I did.
Comedy Cellar.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's doing tours over there. When is your next tour in the States?
It's the tour is gonna be in May,
Amazing.
but I'm flying before.
And-
Flying
and-
before
Wow.
the tour to do some
Yes.
private gigs.
That's awesome.
And if you were wondering how come you can work in the States so easily, it's because...
Tell us.
Listen, guys, don't open an eye on a person I got married from love. I was just
Yeah.
gonna say that.
Okay,
I
not,
got
for
love
the,
and
not
green
for the
card.
green
I
card.
love my wife.
How did you
Always
meet
saying-
her? We'll
She-
talk about it actually. No, we're not
She
going to get
messaged.
She slid in?
She's PM me. She's PM
on
me.
Facebook or Instagram.
I think it was Facebook. Yeah, Facebook.
Wow.
Facebook.
Wow.
Amazing.
We're
Where's she
old.
from?
She was born and raised
In?
America.
Obviously, where in
But she did
America?
Aliyah in the age of 17.
Wow. okay.
Served in the army.
Wow.
Combat commander.
Wow.
Yeah. My wife is.
Shout out to Yohay's wife.
Yeah, she's amazing. All right.
There we go.
Yes, yes.
Ah, that's his job. I'm wondering what this guy. I was wondering what the guy with the cool hair is doing here.
So you got a kid?
We have a kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
So
it's
now you know
amazing
it's from
kid.
love.
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Now
from
you know
love.
it's legit
Or
and
I'm
official.
the first one to have a baby from paper marriage.
Yeah,
I'm the first
amazing.
Or
one.
that.
Which is
Could go either way.
awesome.
Either that or this. It's like amazing kid. I love her very much.
Yes. What's her name?
Awesome. Michaela.
Michaela.
Michaela. So
Michaela.
Full
Michaela.
name.
Michaela.
Michaela.
Neely.
Michaela.
No, it can't be Michaela because her mom's name is Kayla, so
Oh,
we can't
okay.
do that.
Oh, okay. Michaela. Fine.
has to be.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay, before we kind of deep dive into Yohay, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Yohay.
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 You're an Israeli. Stop
Poker Tov.
pretending.
No, I wanted to know how they say
Yohay,
it in
did I say it
English.
right?
Shabbat shalom.
We're going to talk about a few important current events,
Okay,
kind of.
yeah, okay.
Wiz being acquired by Google. Did you guys see that yesterday?
Yes.
$32 billion. Did you see that?
So what's slowly? Listen, your English is very good.
Okay.
Slowly.
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 Google just acquired Israeli cybersecurity company called Wiz for $32 billion. Biggest
Billion.
exit
ever.
In
Wow.
Israel.
In Israel.
Tech, yeah.
That's the budget of Israel for the next 10 years. no?
Literally.
Yeah.
Considering that the cybersecurity company just sold for $32 billion, do you guys ever feel like you picked the wrong career with stand-up, or
Not at all.
making people laugh worth the financial sacrifice?
Okay, so the only thing we need to do now is to combine what they do with what we do.
Security with
Create
stand-up.
requirement
Yes.
for that product that we're creating, and then explain to them why they need us urgently for their service.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
We need to do a
Interesting.
security comedy.
Security comedy.
Yeah,
Honestly,
explain to people they're
Or-
more secure when they're laughing.
Yes.
They're the way to secure.
Yeah. If you
They're
make the
about-
hackers laugh,
Yeah,
maybe they won't hack.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
What the?
Send comedians out there in the cyber societies and make them laugh.
Okay.
Laugh
Okay.
at the.
Okay.
Left the,
So you guys
their firewalls
don't. You
away.
guys
Exactly.
don't regret picking the stand-up.
Do you regret picking whatever you do?
No.
What do you do?
Exactly.
Actually, Noah. What's your? You have a.
Olim in Tel Aviv.
That's your only job.
the only job. I quit the finance.
You were in finance.
I was in finance and fintech.
Where you make more money?
Oh, good question.
Good question.
So talking about people that did wrong decisions.
Here.
So,
Olim and TLV.
so I know what you ask this question.
No, you
you know
guys.
the beauty in stand up is that if you go to do stand up because of the money, you would never make money. But if you go to do stand up
Right.
because you love stand up, you will make a
Right.
lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Do you guys know anyone working at Wiz?
true.
No, I wish I had.
Wiz?
Yeah.
It's Wix, I know.
Wiz.
Wiz.
Wiz, I don't know.
W-I-Z.
Have you guys been hearing of the mood in the Tel Aviv tech circles? Because it's pretty bad. Everyone's complaining all over social media. Everyone in tech is furious.
About the
Yeah, they're like, why? Like, I have friends at all these tech companies that are really pissed. They're like, I want to be working at Wiz. Why isn't my company being acquired for this? People are opening eyes.
it's called jealousy.
It's called jealousy.
Yeah, it's the same
Yeah.
thing. Whenever a comedian is doing a big show, it's always you get backhanded compliments all the time. Oh, you're doing Beta Khayal. Nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very
They
nice.
also open
It's-
eyes in
it's
the
pretty
comedy field?
fast.
It's
Yeah.
pretty fast. You're
No,
doing
but in your case, it was very, very fast.
yeah, but you know, I'm working hard on social media.
Yeah, but people.
But you know.
It's nice, but it's for people that really trying, and it's looking aside, it looks easy when
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
They don't know how much effort you put or how you
Right.
created that.
Unless
But,
you really know him, then you know that he
No, but jealousy is an
grinds.
jealousy is an interesting thing because if I'm gonna come and tell you, listen, I really appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
I envy. I feel like jealous even a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
It releases
Yeah.
95% of the pressure.
That's
Yeah.
that you
true.
have to
Yeah,
pretend
it's
that
true.
you're fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm
I had
happy
a
for you.
conversation. I'll tell you the name later. With a stand-up comedian, I was going downstairs and he was waiting here for an appointment, whatever, you know who he is. And it was right before Beta Khayal. And I was like, "Hey, how are you? I really like that guy." And he said the first sentence. He said, "Oh, you're doing Beta Khayal, huh?" I told him, "Yeah."
Wow.
I was like, before me. I was like, I didn't
No
really
way.
think about that.
I didn't ask them when you do.
Yeah,
Wow.
I didn't. I wasn't. It wasn't. It was like, yeah. And how the ticket sales was going, and the Beta Khayal was sold out, and I didn't want to break his heart. I was like, it's hard. And it was
my
like,
God.
yeah, I know it's hard, right?
do I
It's
know
like-
this stand-up comedian?
Yeah. Did you think that you were jumping on it too fast? I was like, yeah. And in hindsight, it was a sold out show. In hindsight, I don't think. And I was
Wow.
like, you see, you can't run too fast. I was like, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's and when Ben Baruch did the menorah,
yes.
I was one of the first phone call he gave to tell them the story, and
Really?
I felt so. That's what beautiful about like being a friend, because I felt so not, I would say, because I knew he picked me, that he knew I'll support. So
Yeah.
I told him, listen, I'm so happy for you, and like this is amazing thing, and I'm happy you called me to tell me that, because it means that you knew I'm gonna be jealous. I tell you I'm jealous, and we'll move on.
You're gonna be honest
It's
about
an
it.
amazing thing.
Can you
I'll call you when I'll do menorah.
Yeah, please.
You'll be the first call.
Please do that. And if I'm free, I'm going to come and do a spot.
Yes.
If it's in English.
Can you,
Amazing.
speaking of stand-up comedy, can you give our listeners a little background information on how you got started in stand-up comedy? What was the transition like performing from Hebrew to English, or did you automatically start in English?
First of all, you have good vibes. No, I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you.
sweet.
Because, because you were scared that it's not gonna be eye level, the all three of us. But
Yeah.
I feel that if we're not the same, you're from above. You know, we're not the same because it's two monkey and a trainer, not something else.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's
Yeah.
so sweet.
You are sweet.
Thank
I'm
you.
married though, but
No,
Relax, no. He's already married to one American. Relax.
yeah, but I have people that if you wanna date with
We'll
serious,
talk about age. What's
Yeah.
the age range?
30 to 60.
I'll take 30 to 35. I'm 27.
No problemo.
Okay,
We have to
perfect.
gonna find
She'll
that.
take
Perfect.
30
By
to
the way,
50.
I told Matan
But-
exactly a week ago. I
Yeah.
told him that this year is getting married. What do you think?
He
about
told
that?
me.
I
He
told him
told
that. I'm working with vibes. No,
Yeah.
I'm like those
Yeah.
crazy. How do
So
you
now
no
I'm trying to-
moralist?
yeah.
No,
Matan needs a very special girl.
That's true.
Very, very special.
special
girl.
needs. You mean?
Maybe a little. No, but seriously, real talk. Do
Matan is a great.
you know how many girls come up to me? Can you please set me up with Matan? Can you
Why?
please set
Why
me
is
up with
that? To
Matan?
me too. Why is it?
First of all, because he's a catch. He's the real deal.
Why?
Because it's Matan fucking
It's
Parrots.
not, we're not talking about
Okay,
me.
okay, guys, we
you
have a
okay,
lot to
mommy?
discuss.
Just a second. Are you available right now?
He is
emotionally?
available.
I'm available.
Physically, mentally?
Yes.
All right, listen. It's true what she's saying. I got more than once, and we like I know a lot of comedians. I got more than once requests
Okay.
for that issue. And
But
I
you-
told
but you
I
know
told
what I like.
I
But he's
sent you.
so
I sent you
picky.
photos. That was there. We got there.
I think no. I think you told me. I think you told me
I asked
somebody's interested, but I don't think I don't think you'll be interested. And I said, really, I trust you. Whatever. Like it's okay.
Matan,
Okay, so listen. I think it's happening this year. I'll tell you why. Because he told me something, and then my brain started to do the calculation.
Okay.
When I got to this space in life,
It's a good time to
I
pressure
got
Yohay
married.
What?
Yeah.
to come to our Cinco de Mayo show.
Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
Well, that sounds Italian.
You're coming to our
No,
Cinco de Mayo
it's
show. We're not
Mayo.
pressuring him. We're telling him.
It's Mexican. It's Mexican Cinco
Well,
de
we're
Mayo.
getting tacos and drinks before. So
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
It's
The
legal.
show
It's-
Stand Up Factory.
yeah,
I love shows that when it's illegal,
Yeah.
you don't
illegal. Wait, so give us the background. Stand up comedy. How'd you get into it?
pay. How did I start?
Yeah.
When I'm saying, people ask me how long I do stand up, I'm always saying 42 years.
Nice.
Because I remember myself being, when my mom did cuckoo, I said like, okay, I see why it's funny. No eyes? Eyes. I get it. Good
Okay.
joke.
Yes.
And she thought she's not funny because I didn't laugh because I was analyzing. Funny, not funny.
Because
Or-
comedians, we don't laugh. We say funny.
Or we say, motherfucker, it's a good one.
Yes.
I
Okay.
should think about
Okay.
it.
I should steal it.
I should think about before him. Now I'm gonna steal it.
Yeah,
Fuck 'em.
exactly. exactly. So, but I
but
think
so
the question
there's that.
the question that I'm really interested in is because when I started doing stand up and I started doing stand up in English, 100%, 99.9 of the comedians that I told it to said, first of all, start in Hebrew, be good in Hebrew after 10 years, and then start English. And the only one that I told him that I'm doing stand up in English and said, good job, was Yohay.
Oh.
The only one. So I'm wondering what people thought when you started doing stand up in English in Israel.
I told you good job, and because we already have a scene when you started doing English, right? We had a
It
scene.
was at the beginning. It was at Tayelet. The
no,
night.
Jessica Barber. Funny
Jessica
Monday
Barber, yeah.
already happened.
I think so.
Funny
But,
Monday is from 2016.
so yeah, so Funny Money was already happening. But when you started doing it in English, any backlash from?
People didn't ride cars back in the day. And it was different times.
Okay.
Yeah, we did the laundry in the river.
But you also got into Hasbara, right? With post October 7th.
So here's the thing. Okay, let's
Yeah.
put everything on the right timeline. We
Yeah.
started in 2011. Shachar and I, parallelly,
Okay.
simultaneously.
Yes.
We didn't know about each other back in the day, and we weren't even that close friends. We just know about each other as comedians. We started at the same summer in different locations
In English.
in English.
Amazing.
Like we opened a new scene in two different places at almost the same month.
Oh God. Okay.
And we both had a dream and an epiphany that stand-up in English, Israeli stand-up in English, is supposed to happen in Israel.
Amazing.
So it took, I think, 3 months till the second that we realized about each other.
Okay.
And I started to perform in his place. And then I opened my weekly show on Mondays, Funny Monday. And then he came to perform in my place.
Amazing.
So, but Shachar is always was the, let's say, the Ramatkal,
Yeah.
the general of the stand-up in English, because
Yeah.
he was a known comedian.
Right.
Yeah.
That doing stand-up in English is a big thing. It's it's a headline in the news.
Right.
And I was I performed in bachelorette parties back in the day when I started doing in English. I wasn't known, and I wasn't even. I didn't even do ticketing shows. I didn't do
Wow.
that. I
Wow.
was like, I was making a living from stand-up, but private gigs
Nice.
back in the day. So this is how it
And
started.
private gigs in English also?
No. Back in the day, I was making a living from stand-up in private gigs, in houses,
In Hebrew?
private in Hebrew
Okay.
for 11 girls doing bachelorette parties, making
Nice.
a
Sure.
prank on the bride that is a
As a
stripper.
stripper, yeah.
And we're doing a little dance, and then we fooled you. It's gonna be a stand-up. It's like, oh my god, thank you so much. Right.
Put your clothes back on.
Yeah, that was the joke. Was he doing it to men? It's like a bachelorette man. Like, hey, we don't know. You came in as a stripper. You'll be a stripper. It's not. So there's that. And in my show, also telling the story that we wanted to defend the narrative, the false narrative that they spread about us in the BDS.
Yeah.
So this is how the project started. Zionism by stand-up.
Wow.
ZBS.
Brilliant, honestly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And we
ZBS.
started that. And when the show started, when the war started, October 7th, imagine Shachar and I doing it almost 10 years, more than 10 years,
Yeah.
doing jokes about what's going on in the country and how everything is twisted.
Yeah.
And we have this ammo. We have
Amazing.
this,
Amazing.
Yeah.
How does Israeli humor translate to American audiences?
Yohay, take this one.
So
You also can take this one. after,
but we have a guest,
No,
Noah.
I know, but I'm saying that's
we both
also-
will answer
Yes.
this question, I
Yes.
guess. Listen, the Americans that came here in Israel, they want to absorb the Israeli culture, so they're going to be way more acceptable. But if you're going to Manhattan or you're going to places abroad and you want to perform, you'll be part of a showcase.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the only one performing, and they don't care about who you are. They would love to hear something else than what they already know, but they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. They're not going to give you the credit of being
Yeah.
as cringe as Israeli would be in
But
general.
like dark humor, does that work on American audiences?
It's not just dark humor. People,
Depends.
when we started to do stand-up in English, the culture was so far from America.
That's
Not
true.
all of them watching series like Matan
Yeah.
knows exactly what's going on in the culture. Some people did the N-word on stage
Oh, shit.
just because they
didn't know it was wrong.
They didn't know if it was
Wow.
wrong. That's how bad it was.
Oh.
Like 13 years ago. But it's like, okay, I speak English. I'm gonna do stand-up English. No, you have to translate the culture also sometimes.
That's true.
Or if, at least say the least, meet them in the middle, somewhere.
Yeah. Because I think the goal is to make people laugh.
Yeah.
You know, so when you're performing, I feel the difference when you're performing in front of an Israeli audience and an American audience. I think because in the stand-up factory, the reason we got together working is because I told you I want to do stand-up in English, but in front of American audience, in front of international English-speaking audience, because I can fill the place with Israelis who want to hear stand-up in English. I can do that.
Yeah.
I can fill the stand-up factory
Yeah.
with Israelis who want to see stand-up in English, but I don't. That's not a real it's not a real, really. How do you say that word? Indication. It's not a
Yeah.
real indication of will this happen. Outside of the States, When I was in the States traveling with my brother, because my dad won 10 days in New York, and because my mom is very religious, she didn't want to go. So my dad was like, yeah, sure, I'll go, like me and you. And my mom says, no, you're not. So me and my brother went, and we were it's an organized trip of an older couple, Mifala Pais. So all the couples were like
The lottery factory.
40, 50, 60 years old, and me and my brother.
Amazing.
Right? So most of the trip was like, Roti! That was most of the trip, right? And then I got a chance to perform at the Broadway Comedy Club to do like a 7-minute on a marathon. And the group was like, we're all gonna come and we're gonna laugh, even if it's not funny. I was like, no. Guys. You go to dinner. It was Friday. I was like, you go to Shabbat dinner. I'll perform. He's like, Telech, you go alone. I said, yes, I wanna see if I can actually make an American audience laugh. I don't need you guys to like cheat codes. Like I
Yeah.
don't need you guys to like hype me up if it's not funny.
Yeah.
That's,
And
by the way, for now, I want to say that's when you see when a comedian is a professional or is a.
I was trying. Yeah, I was
It's like,
trying.
hey, come and help me. If
Yeah.
he's a professional, he wants to test the comedy
Right.
and not just get the
Not just get the applause.
Validation,
applause.
yeah.
And in the back of my mind, and Yohay knows that because he's a comedian for so long. In the back of my mind, I was kind of hoping it would not work. In the back of my mind, I was like,
you want to get the slap already
Yes.
to move
Yeah.
on.
hopefully,
Yeah.
I will crash and burn, and then I'll be like, all
This
this
isn't for me.
nonsense about.
But unfortunately, I killed
Unfortunately,
it.
it was
and
amazing.
And I don't know now if
Is
I'm
this the story of
Ever
how you
since-
told super dark jokes, dark humor, and then like,
And after that, one of the comedians that was in the crowd, he said, I do also a comedy night in like a laundromat. I don't know, like underground, under an arcade, something weird. And he's like, come to my, I loved your set. And then I came there and it was 8 people and I did a lot of dark
Dark
jokes
humor,
and everybody
yeah.
hated me. Yeah, but the experience of the Broadway Comedy Club was awesome. And ever since, I'm just really hooked on the...
But do you guys feel like Americans are more sensitive to dark
course.
humor? Okay. So like when you do stand up to Americans in Israel, you do feel like you have to adjust it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm
think
asking, yeah.
No, because you have to like... Right, Yohay, it's...
yeah, dark
It's
humor.
so
you have-
Why do you
Okay.
think Americans are more sensitive?
No, you have to adjust dark humor.
No,
matter-
no, seriously. Like, why do you think Americans are more sensitive? It's a
You have the walk and the PC culture, so it's ruining everyone's life.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing that happened to America.
but even
since,
before
9/11.
even before
since
this
9/11.
woke
Include.
even before the
Including.
even before this woke PC culture,
Yeah.
Americans were always deemed more polite, like
sensitivity לדעתי, from if you ask me, came from being spoiled.
okay.
It's like take a kid that lives with his parents' house to the age of 30. He's not gonna deal with real life. They don't understand what's real life.
Do you think Americans are spoiled?
100%.
Yeah.
You think I'm spoiled?
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
Why am I
Of course you are.
spoiled?
Yeah. If,
Why are you spoiled? You have. It's funny. Some people give massage right now.
yeah.
Why am I spoiled? No, it's like
The fact that you can make plans on your father's money tells me.
How do you know I make
No.
plans?
I mean, Americans in general, when they're like, okay, my dad and my mom is going to pay for this and that. When you're over 21, that's...
you did Aliyah in what age?
21.
By yourself?
Yeah.
You're not spoiled. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So this is.
I'm not spoiled.
paid for
he,
your-
said, he said I'm
You're
not
an
spoiled.
exception.
Who
You're an
paid for your
exception.
expenses?
You don't want to answer about it? You're spoiled. That's it. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to
My
answer.
dad. My dad.
No answer is the great answer.
Yes.
So we know.
You're Zionists.
But not from
But
your
very
own-
spoiled.
But
Yeah.
not the Zionists that came here to build the country.
But I
You're
also
Zion-
see Israelis here living out their parents' home.
No,
and
there's
stuff.
there's
they
spoiled
are.
Israelis
Okay,
now.
there's spoiled Israelis
Of course.
too. Okay,
But
not
the spoiled Israelis and the spoiled Americans not living off the same
and
budget.
it's not proportional. Okay,
It's a different budget
Okay.
of spoiling.
That's 100%
Okay.
true.
Something else I want to say about making Aliyah and Zionism.
Yes.
Okay, because people say I'm Zionist because I came to Israel. This is not the only factor of being a Zionist.
Yeah.
It depends where you came from, right? If you came from places that the worst than Israel,
Yeah.
this is not Zionism. This is
he's not wrong.
That's
Very true.
upgrading your life
I
with-
never thought about that.
upgrading your life
Yeah.
with my money. That's not
I never
Zionism.
thought about that.
Right?
Very true.
If you came from let's say Manhattan or Miami or
Los Angeles.
that's Zionism. Los Angeles Zionism before the fires.
Yeah.
Zionism. No, people from France.
No,
I'm a
you're right.
Zionist. I'm a
He's
Zionist.
right.
You're
He's
not
right.
Zionist. You
You're
came
just-
from
he's right.
Paris. You're not Zionist if you came from Paris.
Yeah.
They're hunting you there. There's like tons of radical Islam there.
Yeah.
This is not Zionism. This is a shelter for you. So,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
no.
Israel, an escape shelter.
Yeah.
Okay, as someone who's married to an American.
Yes.
And has
And someone who's want to be married to an American.
as someone who wants to be married to an American and has dated a good amount of American
Not
girls.
a good amount, like maybe 3.
No, okay, maybe
Maybe 3.
maybe like 10.
No.
What are the big this is an audience question, by the way. What are the biggest cultural misunderstandings between Israelis and Americans that lead to dating problems? So like let's talk about Israeli directness versus American politeness. Like
You know when they're saying the dogs and cats, there's a lot of fights because they have the exact opposite body language.
yes.
Okay.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
thing. When a dog raises his tail, it's he's happy.
Okay.
When a cat does that, he's angry.
Oh.
So they have a lot of different body language. They
That's
always
interesting.
So I think it's kind of somewhere there because
Yeah.
Americans They know how to. If you want to tell me something that you think I should do, you will never tell me you should do this and this. You would come to me and you say, listen, if I should do this, I would go. And an Israeli would never understand why you're telling him this.
Yeah.
He won't take the hint. Americans, I would say for your favor, you're a little smarter in your communication in the way of...
We have better communication skills, you would say?
Yeah, respecting the
I'll
other
take that.
side. Respecting the other side. You won't tell someone you should do this, you should do
Yeah.
that. When I have a joke about when my wife takes my emails and translate them from not from English to English, from Israeli to American, she needs to take one sentence, in my behalf, or she write all the things
Best
that I should
regards.
say. Thanks, well, I
Please
hope
and
this
thank
email
you.
finds you well. Like a lot of things that I said. And you read the original email. Hey, where's the money that you owed me? It's not.
Yeah.
You can't even read it. It's
Yeah.
gonna hurt.
Amazing.
But does that cause
All with
issues?
capital letters and
Where is the money?
But does
סימני
that,
קריאה.
does that cause issues? Like being so direct? Like when you were dating girls too, where when you wanted to be very direct, but had to make sure you're also
Yeah,
polite.
But
like,
I think when you're dating an American girl, and you're understanding that the situation is different between American girl and Israeli girls. First of all, American girls, and I think I said that before, are way more appreciative of the things you do. If you pay on a date, she's like, "That's so nice. That's so thoughtful."
Thank you
I don't
so
know
much.
what American boys did to you. But that's what we do here in Israel. When you
not
pay,
all Israeli. Maybe you, Matan.
when you
'cause you're-
pay, okay, because you date people from Tel Aviv. When you pay,
you're not wrong. Not entirely wrong.
when you pay for an Israeli girl, she's not going to even reach to her wallet.
Yeah.
She's going to be like, sure.
Yeah.
You know how many Israeli girls ask me, like, should I pretend to, should I pretend to grab my bag, or are we cool? I'll say we cool. It's all good. We don't need to dance that dance. You
Yeah.
know.
No hadran.
Yeah, we don't need that. But American girls are way more appreciative. But it's hard because sometimes, like Yohay said, you need, as an Israeli guy, you need stuff to be said directly. Israeli girl will say, "I don't like that you do this. I hate that about you," and you'll be like, "Thank you." Then you cry, but then you
Yeah,
accept that. American girl would be like, 40 minutes of, listen, I don't know how I get it that you're from another country. Oh my God, just say what you want to say. So
Yeah.
that's a very
We
important
don't
thing.
have that extra time. That's the
Yeah.
the main cause
Cut
of
to
what
the chase.
we're saying. Is
That's why you're very polite.
We die more here.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
we know that
Yeah.
every second is crucial. Maybe it's the last one.
Yeah.
We don't have time to go around. We go straight
Beat around the bush.
Yeah.
Do you guys also
Even
think,
gay people go straight here. Straight forward.
Straight to the point.
do you guys think that if you compare dating an American girl to an Israeli girl, there are differences between dating expectations and norms? Like maybe introducing them to the family earlier. Like I know American girls, we get invited to Shabbat dinners so soon. We're like, what is this? But
Yeah, because American culture of dating is way it's so different. It's like we dated for 2 years and then I met his parents. What? If I'll date
Here
a
you guys
girl
introduce-
over 3 months and my mom don't know about her, I'm gonna get canceled from my family.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's because in the States you live in New York and your parents live
Right.
in Utah or whatever. So yeah, you will
If
date
you're
someone-
lucky, you can be like one parent in Utah and one parent
Exactly.
in Massachusetts.
Exactly. So
And it's-
dating for a year makes sense because you're not going to fly for a Shabbat dinner. But here, everything is so close. So yeah, if we're dating for over 3 months, my parents are going to know you, I think.
Yeah.
It's because American girls are like, let's slip on the first date, but don't meet your parents. That's too soon. Really? That's where you draw the line? That's too fast for you? But it's okay.
True. That is true.
Can-
What's your perspective?
Can I do something horrible right now?
Yes,
Sure.
of course you can.
Because, from my side, I see this frame.
Okay.
Oh my God, are we?
We-
Here we
you-
go again.
You're experiencing that because it's
Here-
already happened. So what's the deal? Why
What?
not? Let's start with why
Oh
not.
my God. Here
No,
we
because
go
we're brother and
again,
sister, that's why.
I was brother and sister with my wife.
No.
Actually,
Don't start that again.
Although my mom would be extremely, Matan's not my parents,
Yeah.
Oh.
I met her parents.
one less thing to worry about.
and they love him. They're
Verity is the queen.
obsessed.
Verity
My
is an
mom texts
absolute
him
queen.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liz, she's adorable, bro.
She is.
I'm approving.
She is. But when I say I want to date American girl, I'm going to say,
I'm not
American girl.
American.
Not
I'm
from
not
Hoshain, you know what I mean?
No. give it to me.
Okay.
Ghana is like the 51st country
Wait, Yohay, I feel like we didn't talk about
in France.
In France.
Yohay, I want to hear more about your advice.
I really like the trial maneuver, but let me finish what I wanted to say. That was good. That was good. I give you that. Was not bad.
Shaka always says I'm very good at transitions.
Yeah, it was transition that no one could feel unless you have a sixth sense that I have.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, we're gonna drop it. We're gonna drop it on a
That's
note.
good.
I just want to say, I didn't even date my wife. We were good friends, like really good friends.
Really?
We didn't date. We were good friends, but unlike you, we did stuff.
No.
So friends with benefits.
A lot of benefits, more benefits than friends.
We're friends with responsibilities. That's not the
Exactly.
same.
We benefit each other every day.
Friends with business.
Business, yeah.
And we were
Endeavors.
together all the time. It was the cutest thing. Not
Yeah.
even romantic. We just friends.
Yeah.
Make each other
Amazing.
laugh. And then my friend met us, and he took me and said, like, she's your wife.
Wow. Actually,
What do you mean?
Wow.
No, you guys are gonna end up together. Everyone can see that beside you. It's pathetic. And I told him, listen, bro, you don't even know. We're lighting farts together. With the
lighting farts. What is
you
that?
never.
I've
took
never
a-
heard that phrase.
You take a. But likim nodim.
Matzi.
That's not all right.
Anyways.
She was 27
Oh, nice.
and I was 36.
Wow.
That's exact gap.
Matan and I bitch too much at each other to
Okay.
ever date.
And you
really-
never thought about, you never felt that it could.
I
No.
never, and I think he never
Never.
did
Yeah?
either.
Never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
You
We're
feel
too,
like-
we're too good friends.
We're too good of friends.
So he told me, listen, you guys gonna end up together. It's like, what are you talking about?
So are we gonna look back at this in like 10 years and also say
When
Yohay
we're
told-
both married to different people.
Yohay told us
Yeah.
you guys are gonna
Also, if you don't like each other on a romantic way, that's also good for marriage. Because the only surprise you can have is that you're gonna like each other one day. It's the only surprise you can have.
I need you to hook up more with somebody.
Anyways,
Yeah.
guys, from
Yeah.
both of you guys, can
Yeah.
you give advice to mixed Israeli American couples? First of
Yeah.
all, you, because you were married to one.
I just,
You made it, obviously.
You made
so-
it.
listen, you know me. I'm not an expert of race and ethnical backgrounds. That's not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is you guys should respect each other no matter where you were
Sweet.
born.
Very sweet.
If you're a man, be a man, and give your woman the credit of what she deserves, which is everything. And I'm not being sarcastic because they're doing everything. You
Yeah.
try to do your best to be a better husband
Wow.
or a spouse.
Take
but
notes.
You'll never make
agree.
even half of what she's doing. You try your best all the time. You'll never do half of
Wow.
what she's doing.
Wow.
And she gives birth, and she's also raised the kids. No matter what you do your best. It's not even gonna be half of what she's
Wow.
doing. So it doesn't matter. Israelis, Americans, stuff like that. Doesn't matter.
That's true. That's just a basic ground rules for every relationship.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a quick game right now. You kind of started it off. מה הוא אמר?
להדליק נודים.
להדליק מה?
Light farts. Yeah, you're not a frat boy, so you don't know what that means. But yeah.
להדליק לוד. How do you say it?
Nodim, farts. Fire.
I thought farts is flotsam.
Yeah, nodim.
nodim and
Okay,
flotsam.
okay. It kind of bounces off this. We're gonna do a quick game. You have to translate Israeli slang
Okay.
that is impossible to directly translate, and Matan and I are gonna judge how good you are at this.
All right.
Okay?
Sounds
Feel
good.
free to add words to this.
Okay, sure.
Okay?
right.
חבל על הזמן.
All right, waste of the time. That's a known phrase. It's not that hard.
It's not just waste of time though. Like חבל על הזמן, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, you're right.
That's a time killer. Because you want to say something good. This TV is a time killer.
Time killer is good. I like time killer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what score would you
The
give
time
it?
killer is a 10. It's a time killer.
It's a time killer.
I'd give it a 5. I don't
Ow.
think that was pretty accurate.
You guys, you have to be more correlated. If
Yeah.
she,
It's a 7. It's a 7.5.
7 and a half.
All right. But like you're going out of a movie that you like the movie was a time killer. It's both. It's like exactly חבל על הזמן.
But time killer is a negative connotation.
גם חבל על הזמן. It's a waste of your
But
time,
also,
but
like,
it's a good connotation.
איך היה מסיבה חבל על הזמן? No, it's also
Yeah,
a good
also good.
connotation.
It's also good.
That's what he's trying to say.
חבל על הזמן. You're saying something negative in a positive way. You want to translate our culture.
Okay.
I'm doing it the best I
Okay,
can.
no, I know.
You
Let's
just
focus
your
here.
lack of information about
That's
us.
why I gave you 7.5.
No, he gives me
Oh,
10. You
no,
give
but
me
we
5.
met in the middle.
You met in the middle.
7.5.
You're still 2.5 points from him to give me 5, and then you're a
Give it
time
to-
killer.
Fine, 8. 8.
All right.
Okay,
That's
next.
the name of the
Wait,
episode, Time
Time
Killer.
killer. Read the next one.
Yeah. Dafka.
On purpose, Yani.
Dafka, yeah.
Dafka.
But you got a word for that. Despite. Despite. I'm sorry.
Despite.
Spite. Just on spite. Like to do something dafka. You know? You got a word for that.
Or on purpose. Could go either way.
On purpose. That's also
Okay.
good.
Dafka,
10.
okay.
10.
Actually, so I'm looking for the sentence. You know what? I will dafka go to. You know what? I will show them who. I will dafka.
On purpose. You know what? Now I'm going to do it on purpose.
All right.
You know?
Whatever.
That's a 10. Stam.
Stam. Stam.
Stam. I think the closest thing is kidding.
Yeah. JK.
Kidding.
I don't know.
JK.
JK.
But nobody says JK.
Yeah.
Stam. Stam. It's like
Nothing.
Yeah, there is no word for stam.
Stam. It's just like, kidding.
Yeah.
Just.
Just.
No, kidding. Mapitom.
Not coincidence. No, kidding.
Mapitom. What surprise? What
0.
surprise? 0 surprise.
Zero.
What surprise?
What surprise?
I'm giving him a 0
Love
score.
it. I love it. What surprise? It's so good. I would.
You need to think out of
Open
the
your
box.
mind.
Open your horizons.
I'm trying to. Mapitom.
What is the most accurate? Mapito. What surprise?
And look how it surprises her.
I'm like translating it in my mind right now.
What surprise?
You know when you someone's
Perfect.
like, what you? I'm asking other people, what you?
Do you actually ask that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You want to meet in the middle between cultures. I'm
Okay.
pushing the whole slang in my brain. It works.
Okay.
That's
Like,
all
In my
we
brain,
need.
it doesn't.
What you?
What surprise? It's an 11 for me.
What,
Really?
I'm gonna use it.
what do you have?
What you have?
What do you have? Like, what do you have? What מה יש לך?
Oh my
מה,
god.
what do you have?
Ma yeshcha.
I-
Ma
I
yeshcha is a
don't
good
know.
מה
one.
יש לך? What do you have?
What you have?
That is a good one.
You know? Life of father, you.
Nope.
Chaim shel Abba, yes.
No,
life
No,
of
no,
father.
guys, we gotta stop.
I'm
Why
gonna.
not? We love it.
Okay,
No.
I meet you there, 12 and a half roof. Says times, location,
Am I the only?
Play.
I don't.
12 and a half roof?
timed plus location.
What is he
Yes.
trying to say?
Gag.
12 וחצי גג.
Ah,
12 and a half roof.
gag. Wow.
It says the
iconic.
floor, the time, the
Iconic.
location.
You can use it as
Wait,
so
I
many
have a
things.
good one. I have a good one.
You
I
can,
have-
wait a second. I want to. That's you can use it as so many things.
Yeah.
Like I'm drinking tonight. 2 beers roof.
Should we coin that term on this podcast?
Yes,
right now?
please.
Okay.
Yes, roof.
But I'll give him
Roof.
credit.
Yeah. What
Ala
else?
panim.
Okay,
Oof,
so ala
that's a
panim,
good one.
literal translation is going to be on the face.
Yes.
But we wanted to describe something that
Right.
is
Ala panim.
bad.
Yeah.
That is a bad experience. Not like time killer, but it's going to be like
Roof.
off. Face off.
Face off. Ala panim. That's nice.
Face off.
Okay.
That was Face Off. How was the movie? Face
Shit
Off.
face.
bro.
Honestly, not bad.
Face
That's
Off.
that's not bad.
What do you mean? How was the dinner? He said, Melissa enjoyed it, but I was faced off.
Okay, not bad. Not bad.
The irony is that the movie Face Off is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
never
there
seen
was
that.
Face On.
Face.
There was a
That's
face
a
on.
face on.
The movie Face
The
Off
movie Face Off was
on.
really face on.
Wait,
Face
guys,
me
I
on.
have one last one that I thought of.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Ach sheli hayakar.
My
Okay.
expensive brother.
Said
one.
expensive brother,
Wow.
but you say pressure.
But
Pressure, bro.
Precious.
why pressure?
Precious.
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 Fresh, bro.
Fresh,
Okay.
bro.
What up, Fresh, bro?
But actually hayakar.
What's up, Fresh, bro?
But actually hayakar.
Ah, precious.
Precious.
Precious. Precious. Like you say precious?
Precious.
Precious.
Repeat after me. Precious.
No, your sister.
Yeah.
For the sis. Yes,
So
fresh,
you're
bro.
Oh,
Precious.
precious.
Precious. What's up, precious?
Achoot יקרה.
Come on, precious.
Achoot יקרה.
Imagine,
Oh,
imagine
precious.
black communities will take it. What up, precious? Hustling around, having some fun.
Precious. Wow. Precious. It's a good
I think we
one.
just coined like 10 new terms
Like 10
on this
new terms.
podcast.
Yeah,
podcast
guys.
episode.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying slang is First of all, let's start from the structure of the language. Are you guys aware of how much words came from Hebrew to English?
That's
You
true.
even aware?
There's a lot of
I'm
them.
not aware.
Mask, masecha.
That's true.
Ein.
It came from Hebrew to English or English
Yeah.
to Hebrew?
English, it's like...
Hebrew is older than
Stupid
English.
language, English. Stupid language.
Okay.
The English people don't even pronounce their own language. They say, over there, back from there. Have you ever spoke to English person and understand what they're saying? Never, right? No, never answer.
Talking about British.
They're patronizing. They speak above the... They walk... They float...
Float
They don't
above the
say
words.
the letters that they supposed to say.
Yeah.
It's your language.
Yeah.
You pronounce... How come I'm speaking English 2 years and every French person understand me way better than them?
Wow, that's true. You know what? I was in a birthright for French people when I was
Sounds like a nightmare.
When I was a security guard, I did birthright. A lot of Americans, obviously, and then I did one trip with people from France, and it's amazing because when you talk to them like this, they don't understand anything. But when you speak like this, they need the accent.
They need that
They
accent.
think they give you a compliment. We say,
That's
we
funny.
never understand English, but your English we understand.
Yeah, it's a bad
That's
compliment.
funny.
Yeah. You
That's
think
hilarious.
You think it's a compliment. It's not a compliment.
You
but
always say that too in the stand-up shows that you feel like when you speak with an accent, people understand you more.
But when it's,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
But when you're outside of the States, when you're traveling, like when I was in Mexico or Bulgaria, whatever, when you speak English like this, nobody will understand you. But when you speak like a stupid person, when you be like, "Hey, water big," sí, señor. Your language is Spanish. It's the closest
So
thing
funny.
to English, and you don't understand English. That's why when I'm traveling with Asaf Itzhaki loves talking like this when we're outside. Like it's not America. Speak like a stupid person. And he went to the guy in Mexico. I was laughing so hard. He was like, "I would prefer the egg to be scrambled. And if I get a watermelon," the guy was looking at him like, "¿Qué?" I was like, "Okay, egg scrambled and water." Sí, señor. That's all you need, you know?
We're at the hot takes, and you're gonna.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay,
We're
okay,
gonna- I'm gonna let you introduce the hot takes.
The
to
hot
your,
takes.
to your bestie.
Yeah.
But wait, he has one more thing.
I
to
want to say about the English
Yes.
that tons of words like that. Organization comes from Irgun.
The whole organization. Irgun.
Wow.
Organization, Irgun. You have a lot. Earth, it's Aretz.
נכון.
It's from the Bible. We're
Wow.
way more ancient.
Alphabetical order.
Alphabetical.
Alphabet.
Alphabet. Whatever.
Getting a little history.
English is it's a relatively new
Yeah.
language.
And tons more. Tractor,
There's a lot
banana,
more.
universita,
Wow.
hamburger.
Banana.
But I know that some people will be skeptical until this very point. So now I'm gonna give you one. They're gonna prove you. They're gonna
Let's
close,
go.
Okay.
close the corner for everyone.
Close the corner. I love
for
it.
everyone. So how you say in Hebrew, kangaroo,
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
but in Hebrew, it has a meaning. Ken leguro.
Yeah.
Ken,
Mind blown.
Nest for the pop.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Americans just like kangaroo. They have no idea
because
what
they
that
don't know
means.
the idea that it means a puppy nest. So if you steal words next time, no,
Just so
translate
you know.
them for you.
To Hebrew
Don't
first.
come here how you translate Hebrews.
Translate them for
you
me.
already stole the language. So just translate your
I'm not-
language.
but
that
I'm
you-
not American, so-
No, that's
Translate the words that you stole. Okay?
Deal.
Fair enough.
That I don't
We'll
have
work on
another
it.
American here to
Deal.
tell that.
I'm not American, but
You are, but okay. Okay, hot takes. We got
Explain
5
them.
minutes for this. Hot takes is on Noah's page, Olim in TLV, which is an amazing page. You guys should follow. They do a segment every Thursday of hot takes, like stuff you say, and it's a hot take, which means it's very
controversial.
Controversial.
People won't agree with you on it.
Okay.
Like my biggest hot take is that shawarma's only good with ketchup.
Oh.
Exactly.
You see?
Oh.
Yeah,
you get it now. You get
That's
it.
the reaction. Exactly. Let's start.
Another thing with American is
Yes.
the ketchup.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are weird with
So
ketchup.
so we're gonna
It's
say
sugar. You know it's sugar.
I love sugar.
Red sugar. Yeah.
Add sugar to your shawarma.
For sure. So basically, he's gonna say a hot take that someone submitted, and we're gonna have to decide if it's controversial.
And we
or
got
not.
2 minutes each, so
All
Yeah,
right.
go.
choose your word wisely. Israelis who speak English with an American accent are faking it.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. But
Okay.
you're one of them.
Yeah. As one.
I don't think you're faking it. I think it comes naturally to you.
Not really.
Yeah.
This come naturally.
Yeah.
You see it?
I don't know. You like when you speak English, it sounds so natural. It doesn't seem
Because I'm a
forced.
great impersonator.
It doesn't seem forced at all.
Just a second.
thank you.
You
It's
thought he's
took
from
years.
America the first time you guys spoke?
No, because we spoke in Hebrew. But if I met him in America and he spoke in English, I wouldn't think he's Israeli. Or
A lot of
Same-
Americans
Same
ask me-
question about me. Same question.
You're a different story, Yohay.
All right.
Different story.
It was close. It was
Different
Close.
story, just no or yes. Different story to yes or to no. Different
To
story is
know,
no.
yeah.
to know. Okay, so we agree. The
Not a
reason
hot take.
I'm talking about it in my show is that the reason I'm speaking like this is because when you speak with a thick Israeli accent, Americans usually don't have conversations
Right.
with you. They don't have
Right.
deep conversations. They have like shallow conversations, and they speak like you're deaf.
Right.
Yeah, and Americans are shallow to begin with.
Yes.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot take for next time. Moles here are better than America.
Moles?
I don't
Malls.
think so.
Canyoning.
Moles. Canyoning. I don't think.
Guys, I went to the new mall, the big mall in
Glilot.
Glilot. Insane.
It's
like
an open. It's a big. It's open mall.
But how you
mini-
compete America?
It's
with-
mini America.
They're
Like,
all
why do they
culture.
open? They open apparently the biggest Zara in the Middle East. It's insane.
It's an open. It's an open air prison
Literally. Literally.
for guys.
Have you been? Have you been?
No, they invited me for the opening of the new Lego store, but I didn't.
They have literally every store that they
It's-
would have in American
It's an
mall.
open air prison. They have free gazas there.
No, but it's a shopping mall that is open. But I think I was working in King of Prussia when I was doing my Yamamelach
Yeah.
era.
Mall kiosks.
Yeah, mall kiosk in King of Prussia, which is in
That's
Philly.
the products.
Listen, you can get lost in that mall, and I
Yeah,
love
malls
it.
are crazy.
I love it. I love it. There's nothing like this in Israel. There's some.
Dizengoff Center. Everyone gets lost in there.
Yeah, but it's because it's poorly constructed. It's not because it's fun. It's because you go up and then you get to a -1. It's weird.
yeah.
you
How
know?
come I climb to the roof and I find myself in a parking lot?
Exactly.
That's happening there also.
Yeah, for
And then you have- so weird. I mean, the dungeon of the 6th floor.
Yeah.
It's. I think
Insane.
time goes backwards there.
It's the only place
weird-
where elevators go sideways.
Yeah, yeah,
Slide to the side.
yeah.
Oh my god.
What a weird place. That's exact. That's
And
proving
disabled
our
people
point.
walking with their chairs on something weird.
Everything is upside
Yeah,
down.
it's weird.
So yes, that's proving my point.
Okay.
No, malls in America are way better and bigger
Okay.
and amazing.
What do you think?
Listen, we try to. I would say to go after Americans' culture
Yeah.
in the way of purchasing. We always try to
Right.
לחכות,
Yeah, impersonating.
impersonate America's culture with everything. So of course we're not there yet.
We're a little bit closer.
We're a little bit closer
We're not there.
than the 80s, but
Exactly.
we're not there.
We're not there.
We'll
For
never be.
example, if you go to Cyprus, it's Israel in the 80s. You know,
Oh, wow.
And people travel there because
Yeah.
they want to travel in time.
yes,
Yeah.
they want to travel back in time.
Well,
That's why we love Cyprus so
Listen,
much. We miss
Cyprus,
us. Not
That's 100% true. Cyprus, I had a girlfriend there, and she was like, "Let's walk around the boardwalk
with a bush and everything.
Yeah, of course, of course. Let's go around the boardwalk, and it's Bat Yam in the 80s. That's unbelievable.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Never been.
The
Need to go.
same thing. You're not missing anything. But like it's beautiful. Anyway, so American humor is funnier than Israeli humor. Nope,
It's not funnier.
it's different.
it's different.
The structure of the language in English
Here
is,
we go with
is
it.
funnier.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's an interesting.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
I had a joke that the end of the joke was about Kim Jong Un.
Kim Jong Un. Kim Jong.
That's the guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So the joke was about that in Hebrew. I said, "How can we feel this lesbian from the Nazi לסבי, זה הבחור הנאצי הלסבי הזה.
אוקיי.
איך אפשר לפחד מבחור נאצי לסבי?
אוקיי.
Now in English it's funny because how can I want to fear from him? I want to fear him, but how can you fear this lesbian Asian Nazi guy? Now the guy in the end, lesbian. So the guy. So always when you pronounce the noun.
Yeah. The structure is
Yeah.
different.
It's funny.
I
don't
love
know.
it that he
I don't
chose
know.
that joke.
I don't think.
No, that's the bit that I realized that in English when you say something for comedy
When people ask me about like, do you translate jokes from Hebrew to English, which I sometimes do, sometimes it's a cultural thing and you can't really.
Right.
But when I do, I found it very interesting that you have to be very aware of the structure of the joke because everything is different.
Yeah.
You can, and as stand-up comedians, we know that the wording is so important.
Yeah,
the timing, the
Yeah.
you
wording.
want to say the funniest thing in the end and then shut up for a few seconds.
Pack.
Let them know
Yeah.
there's the joke here. But in English, it allows you to the structure of the language allows you.
And
to,
sometimes it comes perfectly together and
Yeah.
it's awesome. But sometimes you have to really change the DNA of the joke to make it compatible. Whatever.
Wait, so hot take? You guys?
It's not true.
Okay,
Yeah, it's just different.
it's different. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Hasbara would be more effective if it was primarily done through comedy. I 100% wholeheartedly agree.
it's not just hasbara.
And Yohay is one of the leading.
Everything you do, thank you. Everything you do.
Wiz,
if you-
security would be more effective through
Yeah,
comedy.
exactly.
everything you do, if you
Everything
put
you do.
jokes, you get people attention. If you're being funny in a meeting, I know someone that was a very famous comedian that went to meetings and he started to work in real estate.
Okay.
So he got these meetings with billionaires to sell them projects. But
Amazing.
he's a famous comedian, very famous. And, you know, he did a show for 20 people each time and everyone sold them something very expensive. But he put all the jokes in the
Amazing.
intro and the stuff. And when we met, asked him why you're not performing. He said, like, I'm performing, but no one see these shows beside the people. And they're all buying.
If for 20 billionaires, I'll take those shows.
Yeah,
I'll
he's a
take those
comedian
shows.
exactly like you and I, but he makes
Amazing.
a lot of money from. So humor, by the way,
Everything
but
is better.
in the
Everything.
spiritual way. We have more time.
We're like 4 minutes. Yeah.
I have something to say.
Okay, so let me give you the last hot
Wait,
take.
no, I
and
want to
then-
do this one.
Give it the last hot take and then
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Situationships are embarrassing after the age of 30.
It's true.
Okay, explain the first word.
Situationship.
Matan, explain.
Situationship is like it's not a relationship. It's שיש לך קטע עם מישהי, אבל אתם לא יודעים מה זה. That's what a situationship is.
Have you been in a situationship after the age of 30? I feel
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my whole life, and it's embarrassing.
your whole life
think
is a
It's
situationship.
embarrassing. Yeah.
I think the most expensive situationship is when you're married. Like the most.
That's a situationship.
Married people know what you're saying.
A situationship. Yeah. It's. I love that. I didn't know.
Situationships are.
I didn't know there was a term for that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you told me.
Yeah.
Oh, so you have a. Are you in a
I met Matan
relationship?
for dinner and I was like, are you in a situationship or a
She told me
relationship?
like, are you in a relationship? I said no. I just you have a little bit of a situationship. It's like yes.
Wait a
there a
minute,
word
guys. Guys, you're not in a relationship.
That's true. We're in a.
We're in a
it.
friendship.
In a friendship.
Just the situationship you're in.
Yes, yes. The only
It's
ship
friendship.
that has,
Is a
what-
friend.
Exactly.
The only ship is a friend, is a friendship.
So
Take it away. What did you want
take
to
it
say?
away. You wanted to say something.
Something more meaningful because not
for the closing of this episode.
without judge your
No judge.
amazing podcast, but
Thank
we need to add more layers of
Let's
content.
go.
that
We're
people
all for
can-
it.
All for it.
The people don't just listen to it and say like, "Oh, I just need to turn off my brain."
Yeah.
I can learn something from added value from these guys.
Added value. That's,
so that's
true.
That's why I'm here.
Let's
so
go.
we're talking about comedy and how much you wanna go bigger, right? You wanna
Yeah.
make more people laugh.
Yeah. Netflix.
It's sweet, right? It's sweet.
Amazing.
Achievement, and people want to do better.
That's true.
Let's talk about the main base deal between God or everyone's creator, then all the living creatures on this planet.
Okay.
So in the beginning, you have fruits. By the way, fruits, perot. Write the word fruit in Hebrew. Perot.
Fruit.
Just-
נכון. That's
Just
true.
for you. Just for you. Fruit,
true.
perot. Fruit. So
Amazing.
in the
Like gears
beginning,
grinding.
in the beginning, you need to listen to the podcast later
Yeah,
and
I'm
take
going
some
to,
notes.
yeah.
And so the fruits that you get for free, right?
That's
you get
true.
fruits for free. It doesn't cost money. If you go in the jungle and you have the ability to find them, you can eat them. No one pay for fruits in the nature. So what's the deal here? You're an agent of these fruits that you like. And other animals are agents of the fruit that they like because you put them in different locations and you plant more trees without even knowing.
Okay.
So the more you get successful, no matter what you do, even if it's comedy or even if it's whatever, you want to spread your agendas, the more you get successful, the more you give without,
Taking.
you take and give. So
Okay.
that's the deal. It's also comedy, right? You want to perform. The more you make people laugh, this is the fruit you take. It's the money, okay?
Yeah.
But
I'm a little lost, not gonna
if
lie.
you
No, no,
became
no.
if you became a millionaire from what you're doing, you probably you gave a lot. You gave millions also. You just
It's true.
Got it.
The side effect is like you have in the bank million shekel or $1 million, right, from what
Yeah.
you did. But what you gave is $1 million shekel or dollar of value for that. It's
amazing.
exactly like the fruits that you plant because you ate them.
That's amazing.
and you plant them.
And I think that's a great way of thinking. And I think the reason this podcast exists, and if we're on the subject of added value, is that we're all about bridging the gap or bridging the gap between
Bridging the jab.
Bridging the
That
jab.
one I got.
Let's go.
That's bridging the jab.
Bridging the gap between Israelis and Americans who came here
Olim,
or are
not
considering
just Americans.
Olim, who consider coming here all over the world. Obviously, we love the Italian Olim, we love the French Olim, we
You
love.
doing parties also?
Yes,
Always.
her page
I'll
is
invite you. I invite Matan every time.
amazing.
Damn.
It's like Olim Center. Her page.
Amazing.
So this podcast exists because we want
to tell you guys you're not alone.
Yes, bring everybody together. You came here, you left your country, whatever country that was. You came here to begin a new life in the Holy Land, and we're here for you. And we want to make you feel safe. Our last episode called "Don't Get Scammed."
Don't Get Scammed.
We're helping tips of people who's getting scammed by real estate agents or whatever. So I think this is why it's so important, and I think you're a great example of bridging the gap. Obviously, you're married to American. You do a lot of shows.
You
You
literally bridged the gap.
You're
My
literally.
wife, she's amazing. She was a lonely soldier and all the
See?
things.
Lone.
Yeah, and she what?
Lone soldier.
Lone soldier, you say? Yeah, loans. Yeah, lonely.
maybe
lonely too,
also,
yeah.
That's sad. Yeah, but she was that, and yeah, I mean,
Amazing.
Our
So
hearts.
I think Yohay is the most amazing example of this, and
Thank you.
hopefully you will come
Appreciate it.
again. We would love to have you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank
that was
you.
such a great experience.
A lot of fun, man.
Let's tell our audience where they can find us.
Spotify, Apple Play, Google Play,
Google Podcast,
Google Podcast,
Audio 10
YouTube,
Plus, YouTube,
or Reels,
Reels,
everything.
Instagram, TikTok, whatever you choose. Please subscribe to our channel.
Comment, like,
comment, and follow us. Thank you so much to Yohay Sponder.
Thank you,
Thank you so much. Thank
he's
you,
got
guys.
Shows coming up. Please check it out.
Yeah.
We got our Cinco de Mayo show in the Stand Up Factory. Hopefully, Yohay
Hopefully.
will attend. So thank you guys so much.
Thank
Have
you,
a
guys.
great time. We love you. Goodbye. Bye. Shalom.
Bye.
עוד יותר, יוצרי התוכן של ישראל.
רדיו.